Do I really have faith in Mike Zimmer? I do. I do, because I thought about this, and I probably said it on this show. I don't know where I be saying shit. I'm on different platforms, but I think I said that you want your offense coordinator to be a younger character, but these defense coordinators, they can be older dudes, because those dudes are a little gritty. Those dudes come from a different style of football. Those dudes have an inherent hate for that flashy shit. I remember when Wildcat first came out, and all these coaches were like, man, fuck all that bitch ass Wildcat shit. You know, it's like they take flashy shit personal. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I bet you Mike Zimmer look at that Shanahan tree offense and he's dialing up something for it. That's just what petty old dudes do. But is he the answer, though? I mean, everywhere he's been, his defenses have been top tier.
Yep.
If somebody tells you, well, but Voch, what about the Vikings defense? We all know that when you head coach, is different than being.
No, the Vikings defenses were really good.
And at the end, maybe.
I mean, the last year in Minnesota, the last 2 years, they weren't amazing. They did finish 12th in EPA per play very last year. But even in Minnesota, he had a handful. I mean, it was there for 8 years. I think over half of those years, they were top 10 defenses in a lot of cases. So this dude knows defenses. Everywhere he's been, from Dallas to Cincy to Minnesota, he knows how to put together a defense. And like you said, yes, he comes from the old adage, but a lot of that is good, though, because you can, like I said, build that foundation, man. And you go, Spags is 64. Yeah. Terrell Austin's 58. Wilkes over there is 57. The head coach over in Tampa, Todd Bowles, he's 60 years old. They call good defenses too. I mean, there's Leslie Frazier. You know, before he left, he put together 2 top 5 defenses in Buffalo. I mean, you can be older and still be good. I agree with you. Younger minds on the other side of the ball, unless you Andy Reid, usually favor that because it's new creative ways. Defensively, I feel like the more experience or more wisdom you have, the better.
And everywhere he's been, he's had defenses that have been great. Yeah. And if you just kind of look at his body of work, like, he's dealt with all different types of players, and he'll take a D lineman that's, you know, not as big, but like, hey, I'm going to teach him how to do this, and he's going to be great at this. Or he'll take people you never heard of, like, I don't know, like Harrison Smith didn't have the biggest profile, to make him a Pro Bowl safety, or like Everson Griffin. He can tame Everson Griffin and turn him into a top-tier pass rusher. Daniil Hunter didn't have the biggest profile coming out of LSU, because I'm draft guy and I was there.
Didn't have much of a resume. Yeah,
I remember watching Daniil Hunter, but he had traits in the tool belt. Yep. And Zen was like, fine, Daniil Hunter, and before you know it, Daniil was like a top sack dude. You know what I'm saying?
Anthony Barr into a linebacker.
You know? Anthony Barr was a pass rusher at UCLA. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, Miles Jack. I was there, Scott. I was like, damn, boy, Anthony Barr gonna be a good pass rusher for somebody. Nope. I mean, sure, hybrid type dude, but mold him. Zimmer molds these dudes, and that's his body, man. Go check his pass work. That's what he does.
Same thing with defensive backs. If you go look at his resume with safeties from I mean, you go away to Cowboys, but with Cincy in Minnesota, I mean, he got big years out of guys like Anthony Harris. You know, I think Crocker over there, George Iloka had his best seasons under Zim. I mean, so he just knows defense. He makes it easy for the players.
Xavier Woods.
But, no, and all jokes aside, I think Xavier Woods might have had a career year in Minnesota under Zim, which is crazy. I don't know, bro. What was I saying?
He takes these players. He's had player success, safety success. He molds dudes. Yeah.
He you know, everywhere he's been, man. He's just really been a good defensive coordinator, and I think he's a good hire for the Cowboys for sure.
Yep. So to answer y'all's question, yeah, I mean, I got faith in Zim, man. I got faith in Zim. Plus, you know, like I said, you know, give any coordinator talent and see what happens here. But Zim in particular, he don't really have bad defenses for real. Like go check his body of work. So I'm happy to have him here. I am happy to have him here. And at the end of the day, like, you know, we have a franchise quarterback. We have an offense that can do great things, right? So hey, let's take that and pair that with the motherfucker that went to the playoffs with goddamn Case Keenum.
Offense got their own issues they got to work out. Yeah, Zim's going to have to clean up, you know, I hate to say what Dan Quinn left over, because Dan Quinn did a good job here in Dallas for the most part, but he topped out. It is what it is. I think Zim is going to be able to do something different. And it may look, Voch, it might not be, Cowboys are number 1, 2 defense in 2020. It might be Cowboys number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but number 1 in red zone, right? Or better in third downs. Maybe they're a better situational defense, more discipline, less penalties. These things will add up come playoff time.
Honestly, though, Sky, you know, like the ranking thing is fine, right? But if you can just simply beat the Shanahan dudes, you know what I'm saying? We're in the NFC. If you could just simply beat the Shanahan dudes, we'll figure the rest out. We just can't go out here and just get blown out by Buffalo, or, you know, I mean, we did solid versus like Miami with it, but like, dog, like let's go shut down Miami. Like it's like the questions that we have, Scott. Like, damn, dog, why are we 10 yards off of this dude, right? If Zim simply goes, hey, let's just press this cat. Let's just press this cat so Micah can get there, then we'll be fine, right? If we look at the Packers game, right? Communication issues. If we simply don't have communication issues, we'll be good to go. If you call out players for bad effort when they're bad efforting, just that small, simple change can pay off in a big way for your defense, right? He ain't got to reinvent the wheel.
And that was Quinn's problem. Quinn was trying to reinvent the wheel. Zim, I think he also had a quote where he said, look, we may not look like the most exotic defense, and I'm okay with that. And what happened? He put together some fantastic defenses in Minnesota. It doesn't have to look exact. Look, if you go and honestly, it kind of mirrors a little bit how Zim and Spags aren't far off in what they do. Both 4-3 base type guys, right? Everybody 4-3. But both defensive coordinators who will use their DBs to be unique in the back end, whether it be by blitzing or whether it be by causing confusion.
Sure.
You're going to see a lot more blitzing with these guys. Obviously, we know the big one. We're going to see more real linebackers in the middle. Probably going to see them bring in real defensive tackles, true, nose tackle, 1 tech, and a true shaded 3 tech. Osa's not going to probably be doing all this looping and all this crazy stuff every other play. It might not look fun from the naked eye, but I think it'll end up being fun overall because you'll see some cool blitzes. You'll see more discipline. You'll see guys having an actual, roll down in, down out instead of, and this is no lie, this is what happened, instead of, hey, I have the power to do a stunt right here, even if nobody else is doing it. That's stupid to me. You should never give your players the power to just stunt whenever they want. But that's just something small over a grand scheme of things.
And somebody in the chat may be like, why? Well, because you're better when everybody's working on the same page here. When everybody's operating on the same page. If you just got rogue characters out here, then we'll be no better than Philly. Changing the plays. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, coach called this, but we decided to do this. Like, that's not good for your bottom line, man. Run the play. And, do it like that. Also, too, though, Scott, I think there's going to be something to look at Spags and how he just was not afraid of bringing pressure to San Fran's offense, right? Yeah. Like, just not a whole bunch. All right, we so afraid of the big play. We're just going to leave such a cushion for y'all that everything's wide open. And that's happened a bunch, really. Like, we're just so afraid of giving up the big play. Man, Zimmer can be aggressive and still not give up the big play. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's evidence of this if y'all just go watch the film, man. And it's San Fran is a team that we got to beat. San Fran, Detroit, Philly. Those are the teams that we got to beat. Packers now. You just can't be afraid of those guys, man. They're going to be aggressive with you. You got to be aggressive with them. You just can't sit back and be 205 pounds at linebacker if that. You know what I'm saying? But KDB.